Yo, this one's for Mike B because he gets respect. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Well, please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Look at, I'm like Will Ferrell. I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel so awkward. I just don't know what to do with them. Hey, we do these sessions Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. Thank you for posting your trade plans, and thank you for reviewing and leaving feedback for those that do. If you don't, my name is Wayne McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. I'm here because we want you to succeed. So I will share my experience in technical and fundamental analysis. Also, my experience generally, which could lead to things like trader psychology, how to do this and how to do that, how to rebound from this, how to rebound from that, how to prepare for this, how to prepare for that. But more importantly, looking good doing it. So, thank you very much for being a client to TradersWay. We appreciate you. Put your diamonds in the sky. I'm wearing black and gray today. I guess I got to put this Panerai on. It's weird. I have it on my desk. I put it on. It's too heavy, so I take it off all the time. Hang on. It's like a tank. There you go. All right, so what? Well, in many commodities and currencies this week, we've had bounces at support or resistance. Here we are in the second middle of the week, the third half of the week. And well, now we're testing the opposite. If we were at support, now we're at resistance. If we were at resistance, we're at support. So it's the other team's turn. And I'm sure we talked about that yesterday because we were approaching these levels yesterday. But like, for example, this is a downtrend. I think you could agree with that. And if you were a bear, this is the swing short, right? Both using pivot points. I mean, standard pivot point theory, not just like, oh, that was a pivot point. Well, that's a little bit hindsight, right? No, that is the pivot point for a bear to sell. And just by coincidence, on Monday morning, at the first minute of trading, we were at not just a pivot point, but the pivot point to buy if you were a bull. So either way, whether you're a bull or a bear, you're very happy with what's happening. And amateurs now are just starting to trade. This is even a sell for a price action type trade. Now, using pivot point theory, you would expect it to go all the way down here, and I threw in the monthly, as you can see, not just the weekly. But if you're going to go to M1, why not do S2 and catch that monthly, right? But I think this area is going to be challenged quite a bit because this is such a big pullback. Okay. We may have, I think we highlighted this yesterday, didn't we? Like, this was range bound, then it broke out, pulled back, gave you the perfect entry, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? you got to be careful. You should stay bearish until the high. That's when you can turn bullish, right? You can be bullish, but be bullish down here, not here or here or here. If you're going to buy low. Joe. Joe, you need some help. You don't need sleep. Oh, Komodo Joe. Yeah, no, I know that. That's why I got my hat on. I don't know if it's any better. Oh, see? So you know when I'm wearing a hat. Now, I still meditated. Is that a wig? Yeah, no, they wouldn't do such a thing, huh? Whatever, but I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. Booyah. I'm excited. I have a research topic for my Harvard paper. Get this, I have a class. There's no tests in the whole class. There's like not even real homework. There's one paper, it's 90% of your grade. I just came up with a topic. My topic is, here's a briefcase of $10,000. I'm just saying, you could lose these things. Here you go, Professor. You know. All right. All right. All right, so let's go through some technical analysis. Let's go with commods, the commodes, Komodo Joe, Commodity Joe. Okay, do you remember? I think you do. Buy zone, buy zone. We did last week, Wednesday or Tuesday of last week. And then yesterday, after the bounce of the pivot cluster at one of those key levels, I drew this channel. Let me just get rid of this fib. It's just one less thing to look at. Keep Marina happy, or happier. Okay, great. So now we have this channel, and the channel was used as a visual aid to say, hey, this is broken up. Right? Because I find newer traders are not sure when to just say, okay, now it's going up, because they could still say, well, it might be going down too. And it's true, because I don't know if it's going to go up or down. But it's nice to have sort of a visual crutch, so at least you make a decision. Because again, an amateur will say, oh, well, it might go down, but it might go up. And they say that all the time. And the reason for that is it can go up or down at any given time. But you're supposed to make a decision. So if you say, oh, hey, right? That you're like, oh, it's broken out, so I might buy this on the retracement. Now at least now you have a 50-50 chance of being right and being wrong. If you're not sure and you're thinking up or down, it's not 50-50. Because it could be 50-50 up or 50-50 down. Because you haven't made a decision. Okay. So I think what we talked about last night, 24 hours ago, was a scenario like up, down, and up. And then I think we said if it continues, we'll meet next week, and there's probably a breakout, pullback, breakout, so on and so forth. Can anybody confirm that that's what we talked about yesterday? Yep, yep, yep. All right, cool. So in that case, now we're observing. I mean, this is, you know, I often think if 95% of new traders fail, how many of those failing traders are truly observing the market? Like looking, not just looking, but looking. Like how many are truly observing the market? Right? You see the woman in the red dress, I see the matrix. There's a difference, right? So you got to really, really look and observe. As a trader, I'd say even more than trading, because the golf analogy is great, where you could just suck as a golfer, go to the driving range, hit 100 crappy shots in a row. You know what? You might not improve, right? Like trading more won't make you a better trader. So like that's why I look at like, oh right, how do we handle a situation like this? I'd break it down. How would, and what did I do in our analysis together? I did identify support resistance. I am trying to identify levels in which the trend will require to continue, right? So if it does continue, where does it bounce on breakouts and pullbacks? If it fails, where does it fail? Does it fail on the 618 down like we did here, which is called a reverse fib? Or is it going to double top before the drop? Well, you know, you can see pivot cluster here and a monthly, so it certainly could do this on Monday. Great. So then what happens in that situation? Were there clues leading up to that? Write it down, talk about it, think about it, right? So our basic look at the market right now, because again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So we're observing, and we're the observation that we're measuring, if you will, is a simple observation of how, you know, this move here, down into the roll reversal. I'll even highlight it again to help illustrate. Okay, and I will remind you, we did this more than a week ago, highlighted this yellow area, more than a week ago, probably 9 days ago. So we knew it was there when we were up here. And we were talking, I think at that time we were watching, observing a triple top at last month's pivots or something. I'm not entirely certain. But we, you know, and we said, well, if it does pull back, right? If it does come back, that's called a trade plan. That's a hypothesis. And then you use scientific methodology to confirm or deny, right? The hypotheses. So if it retraces, then it probably will respect this area. So we highlighted that, right? And remember, this is us predicting the future. We've talked a lot about this. That's your job. Predict the future, not just sit down and boo, 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 right? Video games. No. So what we're saying is, will it do that? And we developed this hypothesis. I'll do this in blue now. Back in here. Looks like 2.5 weeks ago. Okay? So that's the satellite view. Stupid thing. That's the satellite view. Right? Now we have seen this be respected. So now the question is, does it go here, yay or nay? Or does it fail and collapse? Yay or nay? And if so, explain. See, I spend too much time at school, right? If so, explain. Explain me, Lucy. You explain me. Okay, so where did it bounce? How does it behave? Does this higher high, or on this time frame now, produce the next higher high? Right? Are we going to get a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high? I don't know if we will. Right? This is why it's helpful to be on a team, because you could say, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but if I were a bull, I'd buy here. Even a little bit lower, this whole area, right? If you were a bull, would you like to buy it down here? Very much less ideal. So, wouldn't you rather buy it up here? Hell yeah. What's your target? How about WR2 monthly pivot cluster? It's a pretty good guess. Pretty good guess. Technical analysis. So that's the plan, right? So what should we do here? Right? It didn't look good at 49. Didn't look good at 51. What is this, a 50-50 buy? So that's our commodities. Okay. Gold. I think we did this one just yesterday, right? Because I think we had already made our trip from here to here. So just in little terms, do we buy at WR2? Remember, we're reprogramming your brain. So even if it's an obvious question, you should definitely answer it, just like Joe, because that's the stuff you kind of remember. Never, ever in a million years. Right? Obvious answer, but you're programming your brain. When you type it, you're using different parts of your brain. There's an emotional response. What if I laugh at you? What if I pull Alex out of the group and say, hey, Alex, boom, 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 boom. You're like, oh, no, I'm so embarrassed. All these people I can't see in other parts of the world where I'll never go or meet are now aware of me. No, right? But these are emotions that we were taught since we were little children. So you take the risk when you type your answer. And that gets stored in a different part of your brain. All of this gets done. Not just listening, right? So, no, WR2 is not a place you buy. We knew that. In fact, it's a place where it would take profit. So I looked at the past using technical analysis, and I said, this area seems to be important. And this week, it also seems to be a pivot cluster of weekly and monthly pivots. So my hypothesis yesterday is that this should pull back. Why should it pull back? What is the mechanism of this? I mean, it's not like there's a law somewhere. It's not like I've seen it before and it's on a loop. How does one know it's going to fall? Because, yeah, that's right. Chuck's got it. Profit taking. Anyone who bought this now wants to take profit. You could call the fair market value too, sure, up to the 200 EMA and take profit. Because again, the 200 EMA is a target, not an entry. So great, so it came back. I said it would come back to 78 or 79, let's say 79. And it came back to 84. So I'm about $4.50 off. But it did fall from 94 to 84. So it fell 10 bucks. $10. And you're thinking, yeah, Wayne, that's only $1,000 US profit per contract. You know, I'm like, I know, but still. I mean, that's predictable, right? That this slams into the R2. What if that's all you did? Were like the predictable trades, stuff that you set up tomorrow. The setups you do today are the trades you do tomorrow. If you see the trade now, you've already lost. What if you thought like that? Like if you see a trade now, right? Is that right, Joe? You need to make more money, bro. Portugal. That's such like the South Africa attitude, right? That's only rand. Yeah. Yeah. Good as Czar, good old Czar. So anyways, look, it drops, pretty predictable. And it didn't do what I had said, but it went up. That's it. Do I buy it now? Oh, you know what we talked about? I think it was this one. Did we talk about the oscillator cross as like the entry, so to speak? I don't know if it was this one, but I know we did somewhere. Also, in your observation, I want you to look at, you know, maybe one reason why the pivot cluster was not used by market participants is that they were doing the moving averages. You see how they down into the MAs? And that could create a step up, right? And of course, the funniest part of all of this analysis is we talked about this during non-farm payrolls in here, even though gold had been falling and falling and falling and falling and falling, and the market was down, and we're below the 21, and blah, 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 blah. We're like, oh, besides all that, it's going to go up. And let's talk about 9 trades based on that one hypothesis. Nice. See how nice it is to predict the future? Because here's the thing. When you predict the future, you should know what to trade because you already know what's going to happen. So it should be relatively easy if you know the future before everybody else. You're like, oh, great. But if you're wrong, you don't get any trades because you're wrong. You're sitting around waiting to buy, and price goes straight through your support, and you're like, oh, damn, I was going to buy there. Woo! Good thing I didn't buy. Oh, so John S. is saying they bought it on this, on the role reversal. Well, you know, it's your opinion versus mine. I mean, it's definitely there, and that definitely looks like what it's happened. I put it in the context of millions of these bounces, and I mean, maybe, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, Givness says limit orders can hurt you sometimes. Sure, I didn't even say you had to use limit orders, but. So anyways, yeah, maybe. I don't see it that way because, you know, again, my bias, if you will, my confirmation bias. I mean, it comes down to you believe what you believe and you see what you believe, right? You see what you believe, right? So I, through my observations, believe this is more of a moving average type thing. But, you know, I'm heavily moving average. You might not use moving averages at all and say, well, this has nothing to do with moving averages. This is all about pivots, right? If I deleted all my MAs. So, you know, it's neither here nor there because it could be neither of those things for all we know. So whatever, right? As long as you observe it and write it down and learn from it, great. So we'll see what goes from here, right? Where do we go from here? Which is a way that's clear. Still looking for that Euro USD. Prettiest trade I'd ever seen. Okay. Aussie. How are you going to treat this? James Dean. Rock on. What do you stink? Possible buy at 78. What the hell are you talking about? 87 maybe. 87. What are you saying? 87, 78? I don't know. Oh, that's all right. No, I'm slow. I'm slow, Ryan. You're fast. So maybe. T-Bone Smiley says in the trade already. So did you buy off the support down in here? You in there? Was it 30? Oh, okay. Yeah. You okay? Yeah. Sure. E. Clicked it 3 times. Hang on. So you're doing this. Yeah. So you're trading against the MACD, right? So the MACD is rising, but it's below the waterline. So yeah, so if I were a bear, my target is here. I mean, yeah, I mean it's a downtrend. I mean, sure, but this is a reversal area, and it's a triple bottom on a reversal area. So that's the part that bothers me. But like, Do you use MACD? Yeah, this is not a good one. This is the one that comes with MT4. How funny, huh? It's amazing that they've done so many updates to MT4, but they haven't updated their MACD. So let's see if this one works. All these years, right? I mean, who wants a one-line MACD? It's pointless. This is just as bad. Well, anyways, let's get rid of the lower one. Oh no, there's two on this. It's just so hard to see. All right, we'll use this one. The colors are just shot. All right, so let's indicator list. Colors are just lame-o. Okay, so and then it's still hard to see the water line. So let me adjust that for you, just so you can see it. This is really going to stand out, but this is a training. All right, so there's the water line. I'll even highlight that further by going like this. Okay. So I looked at this and I said, oh, well, the MACD is pointing up, but we're still below the water line. Look, we're below the water line, but it's moving up. Nice, huh? Isn't it nice to be able to calculate MACD with your brain? All right, so concerns here. If the market's going to turn bullish, and of course my bias is as such, but you already know this, that a triple bottom on a 618 Fibonacci retracement is, I know you could sell this, and it's a pullback off of 55 roll reversal. Totally could sell it. The 55 makes me conservative, but still, just price action wise, that's great. But if the market was going to go up, this is like the most perfect place for it to go up, which I'm sure we've talked about. And then at that exact price, we triple bottom. And that at that exact price on the 618 Fibonacci retracement, at that exact retracement, it's also a pivot point that says, oops, that says if this does hold and the market, and the market does go up, we are on our way to 93. Is that 93 or 92? Let's say 92. And the funny thing about it, you know, funny like a clown stuff, is that Fibonacci says this should go up to about 92. What? So selling here, you have permission, but gee whiz, right? Golly gee whiz, Batman. There's a lot going on at this exact price, fib-wise and pivot-wise, and a triple bottom there. You know, I don't. I know what you're doing. You could do it. At this moment, I don't feel comfortable with it. That's all. Right? So the way I'm observing it, we don't know if I'm right or you're right, which is fine. So I'm just sharing my observation. To me, it kind of feels like we're doing this. Maybe? Well, the thing is, to pull the trigger on the bull side, we're talking about that like occurring now. Oops. Right? Higher, higher high, higher low. Look at the role reversal. Bottom, 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 higher high, higher low, go long. Because it could also be this one in here, right? Which you could obviously see. She told me in the morning she don't feel the same about me in her clothes. Anyways, just a thought. But if you're a bull, that's what you're looking for. What? Well, yeah. Well, Robert, if you're in it at, where are you, 47? I mean, you're playing the triple bottom is all it is. You're playing the pivot. Now, I don't know how you entered it. If you just said, here, boom, all right. And then your stop would be close if you played it that way. Yeah. I always get uncomfortable buying right in front of a midpoint psych. But if you're going to lose, you're going to lose very quickly, but not a lot of money. So, okay, yeah, if you're right there, it's still a gamble though. Because what you're saying, since it's not up until recently, it hasn't made a higher high. So what you're saying, Robert, is I bet you this holds. Okay? But would you bet anything? I'll bet you anything this holds. Would you bet $1 billion? If I had $1 billion, I'd buy the Aussie yen. Right? But yeah, so you said so you only bet, yeah, but that's the thing, Robert. So should you bet just because it's small money? I know, well, that's why we're here, right? That's why we're talking about. Act as if you want to be a very wealthy foreign exchange trader that trades big money, why don't you train yourself to do that now? Because if you trade like an amateur now, if you did have big money, you would still trade like an amateur, right? So we got to say, no, 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 no. I'm big money. I'm Robert, big money. And I'm going big with 0.2 lots. Boom! Okay? So I don't know if this is going up. I don't. Okay? So John says, so how do you get past this, 2 years of demo trading on a small account? That's why you need to have the focus. So remember the conversation? Control creates consistency. Consistency creates confidence. So you take one pattern, okay, or two patterns, and look for them. You only trade double bottoms with a higher high. You only trade double tops with a lower low. Okay, and then you wait for the pullbacks, entries, and that kind of thing. And then you pick another setup of some sort. And you only work on those two things, John, for the next 6 months. And just let all those other bad habits go away. That's how you do it. So I don't know if you're going to take my advice, but how do you get rid of the bad habits? Stop doing them. No, but it's not right. But it's I'm right. So all of a sudden you're like, I have to get rid of all my bad habits. 2 years of poor training. Not your fault, but now you've been around, right? You got some. You have some observations. You know it doesn't work. You've seen a lot of things that do work, and you know there's something different that you need to be doing. These are all massive breakthroughs because it's something you believe now. So 2 years ago you probably didn't know. Now you know enough where you're like, okay, I got to make some changes. Great. How do I break all these bad habits? Great. Trade double bottoms with higher highs or double tops with lower lows. Take the pullbacks. Boom. You do that for a minimum 6 months or at least a minimum 100 trades. Which means if you do 200 trades, you still have to, in 6 months, you still have to do the 6 months. If it takes you a year to do 100 trades, then you have to wait a year. Okay? You got it? And that's how you do it. And what will happen is you'll trade a lot less. You'll get very good at patience. You'll develop discipline to only trade on your terms. And then you'll track your statistics and you'll gain confidence because your statistics will be good because you will get better and better and better at this. And every time you see the pattern, like you might not trade today, but tomorrow, ooh, right? But anyways, you'll see a setup and you'll tell yourself, 78% chance I'm going to make money on this based on my own results, right? You're making money. You know you are because you're great. You're really, really good at this trading that one thing. You're the best, in fact. You know what I mean? You're like, I got this shot in my bag. In fact, it's the only thing I can do. But I got it. I can, right? I get it. I got it. I know it's good. My trades are tight. You wish you could. And then you move on to another one next year. 6 to 12 months from now, you master something else. You know what I mean? You master something else. Boy, you're like, Wayne, this is going to take a long time for me to get, super awesome, amazing, and filthy, stinking rich. This is going to be like 5 years. Come, Wayne. I want the lazy way to get rich, Wayne. It's not about rich. It's about being awesome. Yeah, right? Right. So, James, that's why you got to go. It's almost like a cold turkey. It comes down to you either have the discipline or you don't. So you got to focus on the discipline because, like, the discipline is really important down the road One day when you least expect it, you are given a ridiculous challenge. I don't know what it is. It could be a great day where you're making tons of money, which you know could screw you up because then you start doing all your bad things. Or it's a really bad day where everything is going to crap and you panic and you start doing all of the bad things there. See, it's the extreme days where all your bad habits come in. So you must develop the patience and discipline to protect you from those days. Because that's the day, the singularity in the price-time continuum that destroys you like a black hole. Where'd all your pips go? Ran into a black hole, bro. Couldn't be helped. Just whoop, count's gone. Well, maybe you can, right? Right? Full thrusters, right? Full reverse before you hit the event horizon. Yeah, but Robert, everyone does that differently. I've heard both sides of that forever. So just people are different, I guess. I mean, I'd get it this way. Like, let's say you have a wife. Let's say you have an ex-wife. This is going to be good. And she stands behind you while you trade. And every time you make a stupid mistake, she whips you with your own belt. So you have to trade with your shirt off. You probably do anyways. But anyways, so you're like, wah! Slap. Oh! Sharon, gee whiz. Ow, you did it again. Oh my God. Yeah, she's like, well, that was stupid. You've always been stupid. I've told you you've always been stupid. And your mother's stupid too. You're like, dude, that's why I divorced her. But anyways, she might be the best coach you ever had. That's why she dumped you. Wait, this is getting way too real. So anyways, like, dude, you're like, oh, I can't learn unless I'm trading real money. Well, you know what? If somebody was whipping you, you might learn really quickly. If you slept in the bathtub, you might learn really quickly. Right? You lose 100 pips today, somebody breaks your pinky. You lose 100 pips 2 days in a row, they cut the pinky off. This might change your behavior. I should have listened to your mother. You were a loser. She was so right. Yeah. All right. Oh, no. Yeah, Euro USD. So anyways, I don't know. There are all kinds of ways to learn. All kinds of ways. The thing is, the methodology that people use before they get to my webinars are guaranteed to fail, in my humble opinion, because it's all about tactics. Oh yeah, do this and do that. Just wait for the breakout and boom, and you'll be so rich and blah 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 blah. Right? Everybody knows doctors and lawyers are rich, right? No, only the ones that go to Harvard business or Harvard Law School or Harvard Medical School. All the other doctors are poor. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I was thinking of it's the hard work, it's the ethics, it's the brain power, it's the drive. Do you think there are any lazy lawyers coming out of Harvard Law School? I was telling my daughter, because we might send her to Harvard Law School in 14 years. Anyways, but I'm like, you know what? Because I've done this. I've walked through the halls. I love the building. By the way, the school, the building in which you go to learn law at Harvard is like a Ritz-Carlton. You're like, what is this? Holy smokes. Obviously expensive. You're like, this place is nice. And I'm not joking. You're like, damn, this is like a Ritz-Carlton. Holy smokes, right? But the thing is, the people that are not kids, because by the time you're in law school, you're grad school, so they're they're in their mid to late 20s, right? But anyways, these guys are sharp. They are smart and skilled, right? And disciplined. And you know what? You see it in their eyes. You see it in the way they walk. They could kick your ass any day of the week, and they know it. They know it because they've done it. They've earned it. They see everyone else around them their whole life not working as hard, not building their brain as big. All the mediocrity that surrounds their life from childhood, right, into high school, into undergrad, and they just work harder, make more sacrifices, do more study, do more research, ask better questions, and just drive, and all the lazy. So anyways, it's great. Like, I'm walking down the halls, I'm like, these people are ass kickers, all of them, right? So that's what I mean. Like, I don't mean you have to go to Harvard Law School. I mean, the people that go to Harvard Law School are ass kickers. So are you an ass kicker? Do you kick ass? Do you wake up in the morning, kick ass? But that's what this requires, right? It's not that complicated, really, technically and fundamentally. You put a year or two into it, you got it. But the thing is, you have to have that patience and discipline that everybody else lacks. Look, you can learn the law. The law is not that complicated. You can learn it. Lots of people learn it. There are lots of dumb lawyers. They learn the law, they pass the bar, but they're dumb. So what's the difference, right? So you have to say, no, I'm an ass kicker. It's right? Technical and fundamental analysis, whatever. Lots of people can learn that. So what makes you be in that top 5%? Because you're an ass kicker. You work harder than everybody else. It's the discipline. Like we're talking about, well, look, you trade one pattern for a year. That's the person that wins. And everybody else just hears the advice and does something else. Well, that's the 5%. That's the 95%, right? So if it's the patience and discipline that's most important, then the things I ask you to do almost always help you develop patience and discipline. Writing down a trade plan every day is hard. It takes almost 20 minutes. But it takes discipline to do it every day. Right? I've been doing these webinars every day, even on vacation, for 15 years. That's discipline. Right? That kind of stuff. You must find something that develops the discipline. And then you could also well, what about patience? Well, that's where looking for trade patterns or specifically trade setups, not looking for trades. Because you could say, oh, EU down, boom, 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 sell, sell. You've lost. That's the loss. Boom. If you just found a trade now, you've already blown up your trade account. Maybe not tonight, not tomorrow. You might just keep doing this for 10 or 15 years before you blow up your trading account. Who knows? Right? Tell me what you're going to do tomorrow. That's the cool thing about the swing trading course. It's so specific that it's like, oh, well, I'm going to buy this week or I'm going to sell this week. And there's only two outcomes if you trade. You'll either lose money or you'll make money. And the rest, you don't do anything. That's why I like it. You're planning for the week. You're planning for the month. Oh, look at the Euro USD. Oh, I guess we got to sell. Hey, Billy, how much should I put on this Euro USD? It looks like it's starting to move. Oh, I don't know, drop $1 billion, maybe 2 billion. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, wait, I just sold into a monthly pivot. Was that bad? I totally missed it, bro. Right? Totally missed it. Turns out it was a monthly pivot. My bad. Only lost 900 million. Right? You know it's true. You know it's true. Yeah, let's sell into the pivot. Boom! Snap. So you know, if you take the time, like really change even the way that you think you look at the charts. Yeah, you know, it is. It's, you know, I was in Washington D.C. over the weekend, and I'm in a museum, and of course I've told the whole all my kids, my 2 kids and my wife, the story about the crystal ball looking into a mirror. They're like, "Oh, you didn't, did you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And what does a crystal ball see when he's in a house of mirrors? All right, so I'm in a museum in Washington D.C. and I see a giant crystal ball, a real crystal too, not a glass ball, a real solid crystal, perfectly transparent ball, like bigger than a bowling ball. But anyways, yeah, so we are very much transparent looking into a mirror. We don't see a reality, right? I mean, it's even weird to see your own face in the mirror, right? You're like, what's that? Or listen to your own voice. You're like, that's what I sound like? Oh my gosh. So it's important to have a real sounding board because we get all tripped up on these things. So the things that we're looking at, right? So I would literally, and you know I always tell you advice like this, but I would change the way I even looked at the charts. And I would do whatever it takes, and I do this a lot in my life, and there's a downside to it, but there's an upside, I suppose. But whenever I get into a mode, and by the way, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a guy that takes so much energy to get me going, but then I'm unstoppable. Okay, but I like to like departmentalize. I like to put things in the little departments where, like, I'm going to go do homework now. I'm going to go spend time with my kids now. I can't do both, right? That kind of thing. I'm going to do Forex now. I'm going to do this other thing. And it takes me energy to switch gears, right? So I try to mix a reward with doing the work. So reviewing charts, for example, I would have a clear desk, a nice space, maybe a sunrise. Look, I'm looking at the sunrise, right? Over beautiful water with nice trees everywhere, right? Put myself in a good space with a giant cup of coffee, good coffee, not that crap you drink, right? Because no matter what you drink, there's always something better. So I don't know, get yourself something you really like. Put yourself in a good space. Sometimes, and too often, for me, it's a cigar too, right? But I'm rewarding myself. A good cup of coffee in a nice, so get out of the office if you can. Go sit outside with fresh air, beautiful energy of the world around you, beautiful cup of coffee, extra good coffee, right? Maybe a nice cigar, and then sit down with a stack of all the printouts from your charts. Don't even look at your laptop. Laptops for trading. Don't even look at it. There was a time in my life where you didn't look at charts and trade. You looked at charts, created plans, and then went to your trading platform, okay? So go to your printouts with your beautiful cup of coffee, nice cigar, you got a pen, 2 or 3 different colors, you know, like I got 2 or 3 different colors of pens down here. Right? I got a nice pen like this. This is good for charting. It's the felt tip, so it really sort of bleeds into the paper. And then I got a highlighter for like support and resistance type stuff sitting right there. And you're sitting outside and you're like, I love this day. Maybe it's over the weekend. Maybe it's Saturday morning. Right? I like to smoke a cigar and read the Barons, but whatever. Maybe it's Saturday morning and you look forward to this. This is the important part. You look forward to it. You're like, oh, tomorrow is Saturday morning, favorite time of the week. That's how I want you to feel. Sit down outside in a beautiful space, fresh air in your lungs and on your skin, beautiful cup of coffee that gives you a jolt of love and warmth like your mother, right? Maybe you smoke a nice cigar if that gets you into a nice emotional place, and then you grab your stack of charts and you start planning your trades, reviewing your trades. And then you're over here taking notes on your pad of paper, strengths and weaknesses, and you say, and the beautiful thing coming out of it, you've reminded yourself of what you did right, you've identified a few things to work on, you're really in tune with what's happening in the market on this currency pair and that currency pair. Someone could invite you on TV on Monday morning, you have things to talk about, you've already reviewed the charts, you know what's going on with Aussie, you know what's going on with Swiss, you know what's going on with Pound. And this is your reward. The work is your reward. And you're like, I love this grounding experience going through my charts. And therefore, on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, you know what you're working on. You're not just trading. It's not just trading. You're carrying out very specific things, but you're working on very, very measured improvements. And you feel good about yourself because you're the type of trader that does this. Hang on, I'm getting killed. People are kicking down my door to get in here. Wait. I'm with TradersWay clients. You'll have to wait. I don't know if you're seeing my phone's going ape crazy. People are kicking down my door. So anyways, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you buy into that? Or is that too new age, too holistic? I think it's important, especially when you go through frustrating periods or even negative periods. Maybe you're losing money and you're starting to doubt. And you're like, I can't do this. I've been doing this too long. My wife thinks it's stupid. My mother thinks it's stupid. The Queen of England thinks it's stupid. And then you say, you know what? I'm going to turn this around. So I've been an entrepreneur forever. I think you know that. I'm not sure. But let's say I always. So now I talk to my kids. And I tell them these messages all the time where I'm like, you know what, as an entrepreneur, you go through life and everybody tells you, it can't be done, it's not right, it's stupid. Why do you even do this? Why do you do this? Why do you think this way? That's crazy. It's all the time. And now I'm like a samurai warrior. People tell me no, and I don't even hear it. I have a contractor coming to my house. I called the firm like a month and a half ago. And they're like, no, we're so busy, we're not doing any more work in 2018. So if you haven't done it next year, you know, maybe we can come and take a look and do a bid. I'm like, cool. So I write a nice little response to that. Call them up a week later. Yeah, no, I want you to come out anyways. Oh, well, you know, we just can't. We'd like to. We're so busy and things are good. Great. But, you know, maybe next year. Okay, great. Boom. Call them up a week later. You need to come out here. And they're like, okay. Like, this is my life. Everybody tells me no, and I don't even hear it. I don't even hear it. But my wife knows this story, so it's not a secret. But when I was in college, because I've always been this way, like I'm driven, right? Like my longtime girlfriend from even high school a little bit, but in college, long-term girlfriend, she's like, yeah, you suck, Wayne. You're an idiot. I hate hanging with you. Actually, what it was is I was overworked. I was doing nonprofit work and traveling, and I was sleeping every other day for 4 hours. Yeah, excellent boyfriend, right? No joke, not for like a little period, for like long stretches of time, sleeping 4 hours a day every other day. It's funny because I got a funny story in regards to that. But anyway, so that's the type of person I am, right? Work. I was doing crazy things. I was running an organization of 3,000 people, sitting on a board of directors with George Soros, and I'm 22, 21, whatever. So anyways, and she's finally just like, Wayne, you suck as a boyfriend. I'm going to break up with you. Yeah, great, yeah. No, seriously, I'm leaving, right? She's telling me this for like weeks. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'll fix it. No, it'll be good. I'll get this. So, yeah, I just got to do this thing, and it'll be good. I got this. You know, it goes on for a while until I'm like, damn, so where'd she go? Why isn't she here? Like, are we going to go out? I know I haven't been around for a couple of weekends, but I'm here now, so let's go out. What's the big problem? She's like, dude, I left you like 3 weeks ago. You didn't get my messages? I told you I was leaving. Oh, sorry, I was in New York, and then I had to go to the Seattle thing, and then and I got all these meetings, and all these things are going on, and I'm just really sorry. Right? So, you know, so there's that downside, right? But I don't hear the negativity. Now, of course, that was my fault, and I'm not much better now. But the thing is, you know, being a currencies trader, especially when you're struggling at it, everyone's telling you no. And then if you look at your crappy trading and you see all the crappy things you're doing, then you start telling yourself no. I can't do this. This is impossible. Nobody's making money at Forex, right? How many times have you thought or even heard that? Nobody in Forex makes money, except those 25-year-olds on YouTube driving Ferraris. Look at me, I'm a Forex trader. I got my MT4 on my phone. I drive a Ferrari, right? But the thing is, you need to prove it to yourself. You got to stop those bad habits and the bad trading and all that, because you know that's leading you nowhere, and you're starting to listen to yourself. But you already know that that's not the right way. Now you got to change everything around, change it all, and take total, absolute control of what you're trading. Not looking for trades, you're looking for the pattern, that one pattern that you trade, and that's it. And just master it until you believe in your soul that you dominate those situations. Give me the ball, coach. In this situation, I'm going to dunk it. I got this. I will win the game type attitude. I know I can make that putt. I've made that putt 9 million times. I know I can do this for certainty. That kind of certainty in one type of situation. And then surround yourself with all the love and harmony of the world, not the negativity of everyone else telling you can't do it. So that's why you do things like reward yourself for doing the work. I want you to literally go, I can't wait till tomorrow morning because I get to print out 35 charts and sit down outside and review them. It's my favorite time of the week. When you get there, guys, and you're reviewing how well you're improving at that one trade, and you made money on this one, you made money on that one, this other one didn't work out, but you can see why. I wonder if that's important. And you're really just diving into owning it and loving it all along the way. You'd be surprised how everything changes. Even the way you look at your chart has now changed. And I'll tell you, 95% of people don't do that. I don't know what percent do, but I can tell you at least 95% of people don't do that. And that's fine because, right, if you are going to drive around in a yellow Lamborghini, great, it'll be with their money. Right? Do you see? Do you believe me? So what kind of reward do you give yourself in a situation like that? Well, Ryan puts it the other way. This isn't a game. It's true. I mean, this is war. It is zero sum. If you lost money today, you're like, oh, yeah, this is just a video game. I lost a quarter. No, 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 no. It's not a video game. I don't care how small or how big your lot size is. Your trade either sucked or it was awesome. Right? And if you lost money, you literally just gave it to someone that had a trade that sucked a little bit less. Now, if you're good and you're trading against a market of 95% of people that lack patience and discipline, even lack a trade plan, then shouldn't this get easy at some point? At least spiritually on your soul as a trader? I mean, that you walk in, right? You remember like gladiators? I don't know why that made me think of that. You know how they would throw in a slave and he's practically naked and he's in the middle of the Colosseum and the crowd's like, yeah. And he's like, oh man, I don't have any weapons. I don't even have any armor. I don't have clothes. What's going on here, man? I was just in my village. I'm a fisherman, for crying out loud. What am I doing here? And all of a sudden, another door opens, boom, and this guy with armor, and he's got that crazy mask on, and he's got like a sword or a knife, or he's got that net with a spear. He's got some crazy weapon, and he's amazing with it. And you're like, ah! And the audience stands up, yeah! Well, which one do you want to be? The naked slave fisherman sitting in the middle of the Colosseum not knowing what's going on? Or do you want to be the guy with the armor and the weapons and the skills? Woo! And then all he has to do is come out and kill. And they throw him money and reward and gold and women and bread. And you're like, yeah, which one do you want to be? You know, which one? I was a fisherman yesterday. What's going on? And the poor fisherman has stage fright. It's just another thing on top of a bad day, right? But you know it's going to be a bad day for the fisherman, the naked fisherman, right? Right? And how's the other guy feel? Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be done in about 3 minutes. I got to go kill this guy. That's his day. He's tied his boots, talking to his buddy. You're like, so where are we going after this? Oh, well, there's this new restaurant. They're serving turducken. It's great, man. It's great. They got some fantastic wine and, you know, great women. It's going to be great. We'll go right after. He's like tying up his little shin guards. He's like, all right, cool. I'll be back. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I got to go kill this fisherman. I'm going to try to do it without messing up my sword, though. Like, if I could just, like, I don't know. Right? Yeah. So which one do you want to be? But that's what it really should be like. You're the professional. You got skills. You got the tools. You got the advantage. You have to believe that, right? And all these other traders are running around just like doing strange things, selling at support. Like, really? Oh, well, I saw a big red candle. So, you know, you should get there. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year. but you need to change what you're doing. I know you hear me every day, and I know you know the technicals and fundamentals are there. You see them, you know something works. This is all great. And there's probably other ways of doing it. I don't know them, but there are other ways that you can do this successfully. Great. So the keys are the support, the patience and discipline stuff. So you need to learn how to do the work. You need to learn how to love the work. You need to love sitting down with a 38-page central bank report. You print it out this PDF, or you pull it out on your tablet, whatever, and you love it. And you're like, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to find 3 or 4 things that are important, but I'm going to enjoy this. And what is the reward? Maybe if you do this every time for a month, you go out to a nice restaurant. Or as you're reading, you're having a coffee and a cigar, if that's what you like. Right? Find something. And then when you screw up, punishment. Oh, I don't like punishment. It's just, no, punishment. You screw up, sleep in the bathtub. The central bank reports are on the websites of the central bank. They invented this thing called the internet. And they build web pages on the World Wide Web. Yeah, on the interweb. Right? So you literally go to Bank of England, Bank of Canada, Reserve Bank Australia, Reserve Bank of New Zealand. I've honestly gone to the Bank of Japan, downloaded spreadsheets from the Bank of Japan in Japanese. And my Japanese no so good. I've gone to the Bank of Mexico's website. Banco de Mexico. Downloaded PowerPoint presentations in Spanish. My Spanish no so good. It doesn't matter. You understand? The fact that I do it is that. It's the reward. I love it. I like it. Defines me. What kind of trader are you, Wayne? I'm the type of trader that downloads spreadsheets from the Bank of Japan in Japanese and spends time trying to figure it out. Why? I don't know. Because that just makes me a kick-ass trader. Because that's what I'm willing to do. Anything. Anything. You see what I mean? Whatever it takes in a happy, positive, rewarding experience. It's not work. I don't do it like, oh, I got to do this. I do it because I'm like, oh, this is cool. Check this out. Found the spreadsheet, downloaded it. It's got this data. Japan, the Bank of Japan publishes when their bond dealers buy treasuries from the Japanese treasury, but from foreign banks, and they also report how many, and they do this every week, how many bond dealers in Japan have sold their assets to foreigners. That's what these spreadsheets are, right? They're selling them for yen or they're buying them with yen. Bank of Japan tells you that? Uh-huh. I found it. It's cool. I was digging around. I'm like, this is so cool. I found Bank of Japan stuff in, you can find the web pages in English, but then you start downloading files and they're in Japanese. But whatever, enjoy it. Just hunt. I don't like hunting. It's hard work. Right? So whatever. I got to go, bro. Are you going to be here tomorrow? I will be. I hope you'll be here. Sun's rising. I got like a whole bunch of asses lined up to kick. It's great. Because it says it right on my business card, ass kicker. So right? This is going to be great. It's going to be a great day. I got the crazy mask. I got the net. And I got the long sword. This is going to be great. It's going to be good. I'm a killer. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for being a client of Traders Way. If you haven't become a client of Traders Way yet, your mother's embarrassed because you're here and you're benefiting and you're not contributing. I mean, that how lame would that be? You come to these webinars and you're not a client of Traders Way? That's embarrassing. If you don't want to embarrass your mother and disappoint her, then you should do the right thing and become a client of TradersWay.com. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.